Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 7 with Kevin Live. My name is Kevin Maynard, and I am the Executive Director of Quad City Arts, where our mission is to enrich the quality of life in the Quad City region through the arts. Now, to do this, we work with hundreds of artists throughout the year who work in a number of genres and mediums. Our community is impacted by these artists through their performances, public art installations, and gallery exhibitions. Our team has the added benefit of getting to work closer with these artists, which gives us the opportunity to learn more about them and their art. And we want to share that with you. And that's what 7 with Kevin is all about. So why 7 with Kevin? We named this series after a monthly newsletter that I write. In this, I share 7 things. It ranges from things that I'm excited about, things that we are working on, things that I'm interested in, and so on. So we created a list of 7 questions that fits that criteria. So basically it's a little random, a little fun, and hopefully a little thought-provoking. Now, if you've never read that newsletter, you can sign up for it at our website, quadcityarts.com. If you are tuning in live and you have a question, go ahead and put that in the comment box. Tuning in live but don't have a question, still comment. Tell us where you're watching it from tonight, or maybe what snack you're enjoying during this evening's production. So tonight, we will be talking more about one of our newer events at Quad City Arts. Now, this is the Quad City Arts Chalk Art Fest. 2020 marks the 4th year of the event and the first year that it will go virtual. We will start tonight by talking with the person who started this event at Quad City Arts, and then we'll talk with someone who has competed in the past years and is working on a design for this year. Now, our first guest is Karie Gilson. Karie is our marketing and sponsorship director, but she does way more than that here at Quad City Arts, including creating and executing our Chalk Art Fest. Karie, welcome to 7 with Kevin Live.
Hi.
Hello, Karie. Now, before we get started, let's let everybody know where you're joining us from tonight.
I am joining you all from my living room, fabulous living room at home. So hopefully I don't have any children running across my couch here, but yeah.
Well, excellent. Karie, let's tell everybody, what do you do here at Quad City Arts?
Well, I primarily oversee the marketing and sponsorships for Festival of Trees, but I also manage our newsletter and kind of dabble in a little of the marketing for the overall, component of Quad City Arts. So really, I think, with a small organization, we have our hands in everything. So
very true.
That's what I do here. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the Quad City Arts Chalk Art Fest was a new program that we were able to introduce, and I'm just really excited that we were able to bring this to the Quad Cities.
Excellent. So, Karie, let's tell everybody what Chalk Art Fest is like in a traditional year, in case they haven't had the opportunity to experience it.
So if you haven't had the opportunity, it's traditionally an outdoor festival that brings together hundreds of artists to the streets where they actually use chalk to create these wonderful masterpieces on the street. And it's just wonderful to look at. It's a great way to engage the community because they're able to interact with the artists. And it's really unique because a lot of times you don't really get to see the artist do the work from start to finish. And this is really a great opportunity for them to see that come to life.
Excellent. And normally in a traditional year, with it being an outdoor festival, there's also, more things than just the chalk art happening too, some musicians and food vendors. And so it creates a fun atmosphere, not only for the artists, but for those attending.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to incorporate, just like with any outdoor festival, music and food vendors and kids activities and all sorts of that is a component to also being able to not only watch the chalk artist, but even do some chalk art yourself.
So after experience my first chalk art festival here with Quad City Arts, it was easy to see, why you would want to bring something like that here. But I'm curious, what sparked that for you? What made you go, we need that here?
Well, I had actually seen the Chalk Art Fest in Mount Vernon, which is the largest chalk art fest in Iowa. It's well known, and so they have over 150 artists that participate every year at that. And I just thought, wow, what a wonderful thing! And we had an opportunity to bring a new art event to the Quad Cities, and thought, hey, we have a lot of talented artists here. That would be amazing for us to showcase them, and they really jumped on it.
Yeah, no, that is very true. Especially, experiencing last year's Chalk Art Festival, just the in 2 days what people are able to create is astounding. And
yeah,
we've got some photos that we'll show folks here in a little bit of those. So obviously, we've been through a lot of changes this year, a lot of reiterations of many of our events. Let's talk about how is this year's event working?
Well, this year we're going virtual, so it's instead of an in-person event, we're asking people to just do their chalk from home or on their sidewalk or porch, balcony, wherever they can find a slab of cement, and they can. The beauty of it is they can virtually do it from anywhere. So they do not have to actually be from the Quad Cities. They don't have to travel here. They can do it from North Carolina, of all places. So they just have to find some time to do it, and then they can submit a final photo of their work to Quad City Arts to be eligible for cash prizes. So.
Excellent. And actually, let's talk about that a little bit more, because I think that's something that maybe not everybody realizes, is that we're not just encouraging people to come out and create great art. We're creating a fun competition that, like you said, has cash prizes.
Yeah, that's the nice component of it, is that it is, even though I think a lot of these artists would do it without the prizes, it is a lot of work, and we want to be able to reward them for their work. And so we are giving away $1,600 in cash prizes, which is wonderful, including a youth category award, a People's Choice Award. And we're thankful to our sponsor, Morency Family Foundation, that's been with us since the beginning. So we're able to still present those awards this year, even though they're having to do it from home. They can still send a photo of their work to info@quadcityarts.com, and they have to submit that by Friday, August 28th at 3 p.m. So that's the deadline. And so if they send us a photo, they're eligible to win the prizes. We do have 5 judges that are going to be judging all of the works, and we're really excited to be able to share all of the works on our Facebook page Saturday, August 29th.
Excellent. And we're also partnering with the Bettendorf Downtown organization. Can you talk about that partnership a little bit?
Yeah, so the event was actually part of Be Downtown, which is Bettendorf's Summer Arts Festival, and we really we had to cancel the event with them. So we still wanted to highlight the businesses that would have been part of the Be Downtown Festival, and part of that festival was to actually drive traffic to some of those downtown businesses. And so, in light of what has happened with having to cancel the in-person event, Downtown Bettendorf organization offered to give us 10 $25 gift cards that they're actually going to give to anyone who tags Quads I think it's hashtag Chalk Art Fest QC and hashtag Quad City Arts. If they tag us on Instagram or Facebook, then with any photo progressions of their work, they get entered to win one of these gift cards. So we really wanted to make this viral component because we want to flood the social media with all these wonderful pictures of art. We just know how uplifting that is for people to see. And so we wanted to encourage that.
Yeah, and I will also let our viewers know, definitely go to our Facebook page and go to our Instagram right now. We're sharing some of these progress photos and some of these final products, and in just like any other year, just as impressive, and lots of really great stuff. So Karie, obviously, this is a bit of a different year, but we've been doing this for a few years now. Do you have any favorite memories from, some past chalk art festivals or anything that you'd like to highlight about those?
Well, my favorite is last year's winner. Her name is Deja Hickman. She's from Rock Island. She's participated since the beginning of Chalk Art Fest. And the first year she didn't win anything. So she did a really great, I think it was a moon with some astronauts around it. And it was a great piece, but it didn't win any awards that year. And then the second year she came back and she participated again. And once again, she didn't win any award. But the third year, she did another piece that was amazing, and she won first place. And everyone was so happy for her because they knew she had really done a wonderful job. And it just shows like persistence pays off, because she had been doing it for 3 years. And a lot of times these artists, they make connections with one another. There's a lot of camaraderie, and they go in and they comment about each other's work. And so there was a lot of artists that were just there, clapping and really applauding her and her efforts. So I just thought that was really special.
Excellent. And I think we've got a couple of pictures from some past Chalk Art Fest winners. I think the first one I want to show is actually from one of the first years this one was in downtown Davenport, but it kind of just shows interaction of the crowd and just, or like people passing by and seeing those, and it just shows that, we can highlight some, that you kind of interact with those artists while you're doing that. So. There we go here. Yep. Right there.
Oh, and there's Deja right there. She's the one in the gray. She's got the gray t-shirt on with the gold. Yeah. So that's funny.
Oh, that's fantastic. But yeah, like you said earlier, I mean, that it gives everybody an opportunity to really, interact with those artists. Yeah. And we've got a couple photographs from some winners from last year that have last couple of years that have placed that I'd like to highlight as well. And here is Deja's from last year.
Yeah, it's so lifelike, and it just looks like it's airbrushed on there. So I think it was a clear front runner last year. And she definitely put a labor of love into it, and you could tell.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is quite incredible. And honestly, I mean, one of the coolest things about doing the Chalk Art Fest, like seeing it in person, is that you watch these come to life, that you're able to, see the beginning, and you may not be able to quite see where they're going with it. And then all of a sudden it comes back to, something, quite amazing. And this piece is actually from the artist that we're going to talk to after this, her team in one of our first years.
Yeah, they do a lot of very colorful work, I have to say. Every year they come up with something that is just very colorful. They do a really good job with the pigment. So it just seems like every artist has kind of their own forte, and yeah, theirs is definitely color. So you could tell with this piece.
Definitely. So Karie, as our sponsorship director, I'd be ashamed not to ask you about this year's sponsors. I want to give them another quick little highlight and what they're helping us provide.
Yeah, so the Morency Family Foundation, as I mentioned, they are providing the awards for this year, and they've always been kind of a presenting sponsor for us and helping us get this thing off the ground, and then, obviously continue to move forward. They're really huge supporters of the arts in general and youth. So we want to thank them for believing in this event and continuing to support it. And then Blick Art Materials, they've also supported us this year and last year by providing us with some complimentary chalk. So the artists can actually come and pick up 48 count boxes of professional pastel chalk so that they don't have to pay for it. We do, I think we have 9 boxes left. So if anyone's interested in still grabbing a box of chalk, I would recommend doing that soon. And then, of course, Downtown Bettendorf Organization. They were a huge supporter of ours last year in providing lunch vouchers for the artists. And then this year they're giving away the $25 gift cards. So.
Excellent. Karie, a lot goes into Chalk Art Fest, and you've put a lot of love into this, and you've been around it from the beginning. So I'd be curious, do you have any advice for any of our chalk artists out there? You know, what makes a good piece? What makes the best winner?
Oh, wow. That's really hard.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not one of the judges, so don't, I'm, think that we're biased by any means. But I would say definitely use of color is important. I know some of the scoring criteria does have to do with color, with creativity, just being able to, be creative with, even if it is a replication, to be creative with that replication. For instance, I don't know if we have this image up, but I know Austin Robertson, his first year, he did a replica of a portrait. I think it was a famous musician, but he used his own creativity in making it different and making it his own. And so I know they look into a lot of those things as well. So I would say those things for sure. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So.
Excellent. Karie, is there anything that you would like to add? Anything that you'd like to, throw in here?
I would just say, like Kevin mentioned, please, feel free to look at our Facebook page, Instagram, follow all of the artwork. I will say that the People's Choice Award, or voting for People's Choice Award, is coming up on Saturday, August 29th. So that's when we will upload all of the photos at once. And you can just like or heart on the photo that you like the most, because somebody will win $250 for the People's Choice Award. So that's one way for you to do your part and vote for your favorite. And then we will be announcing the winners Monday, August 31st.
Excellent. And we've got a quick little video that we're going to play on the side, and we just kind of take it as an opportunity to remind everybody, where they can find out more information, and if there's, about how to upload the art and how to pick up chalk. So wait for that video to start playing, and we can start talking about that. Excellent. Just as a reminder, we do still have chalk available at our downtown gallery in Rock Island. As Karie mentioned, we got, I think, 9 boxes left. I want to thank Blick Art Materials for making that possible. And as the video says, this year we're not able to come together, but you can do it from the safety of your own home and give a way to, flex your creative muscles and really create a great piece of art. You can find out more information at quadcityarts.com. It'll give you all the information on how to enter, how to be involved. And, if you're like me and don't really have that creative muscle to create some really great chalk art, hop on our Facebook and help somebody else. Help a friend win $250. I mean, that's a good friend. So
yeah.
Excellent. Well, Karie, it's your first time on 7 with Kevin Live, so I have to ask you the 7 questions. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What are you currently watching on Netflix or TV?
Well, I'm kind of in between shows, but you can always find me watching a good Dateline episode.
Excellent. Star Wars or Star Trek?
I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Excellent. Best pizza in the Quad Cities?
I like Antonella's and Pagalo's.
Excellent. What is your favorite book?
The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath.
Oh, excellent. Where is your go-to place for inspiration?
The Chalk Art Fest.
What profession, other than the one you are currently doing, would you like to attempt?
I would love to be a singer like Adele.
Ooh, all right. And if you could have a drink with any artist, living or dead, who would it be?
Mark Rothko.
Oh, yeah. Good choice.
Yeah.
Karie, I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect Dateline. That one.
I love any unsolved mystery or like weird. Yeah, it blows my mind. So yeah, I'm addicted.
I'm not going to lie. It surprises me, but it makes sense. So excellent. Karie, thank you so much for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure talking with you. So thanks again, Karie.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Next, we will talk with Rebecca Quick. Rebecca has competed in past years and is competing this year as well. So Rebecca, welcome to 7 with Kevin Live.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks, Rebecca. Now, before we dive into anything, where are you joining us from?
I am joining from Monmouth College down in Monmouth, Illinois.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm currently a senior here and working on an art and mathematics double major. I was gonna say in the past year, I've actually done Metro Arts here. You might know that, yeah. And also I've just worked on a mural or a chalk fest here as well. So.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm gonna have to rewind on that one. You said art and mathematics, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Interesting. So I also love math. I'm more on the accounting side of that. Interesting combination. I mean, when you first started, were you originally going for both, or did you start with one or the other?
I started with art, and then I got convinced to do math as well. I was like, might as well. Got some extra free time.
Who convinced you to do math as well?
One of my friends from freshman year, he's like, you got all this free time. What are you going to do with it? So I said, what else am I good at?
I guess, add another major. I think that's, that's well, perfect. So obviously you mentioned you've done Metro Arts. Actually, this summer just did a project with us in Rock Island, if I remember correctly, right?
Moline, actually.
Oh, Moline. That's right.
I did work a little on Rock Island, but Moline. Yep.
That's right. Yeah. And I'll just let everybody know that one in Moline is on 6th Avenue, and it is top notch. Lots of really great colors on that one. So for Chalk Art Fest, you in the past, in the past you've worked with a team. Are you working with a team this year as well?
Yes, we just finished it up. I worked with Emily Mankey, Alex Dessert, and Elizabeth Brennan. They're my friends from high school.
Oh, fantastic. Excellent. Now, is this the same group that you worked on in past Chalk Art festivals?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Excellent. And how many have you competed in?
I've competed in 3. I didn't do it last year, but my group did do it last year. So in total, my group has done it all 4 years.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. So how did you get started in working, I guess really how did you get started working with pastels, and really how did you get tied into the Chalk Art Festival here?
I guess it started because I like to explore different mediums, like anything ever. I'm not picky. I like to try it all. And Emily, actually, she found it on a whim just looking around, and she's like, hey, do you guys want to try this? And we're like, yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot. It's a good opportunity.
Excellent. And how did the first year's competitions go? How did you feel about it?
So we were kind of a little unprepared. We didn't know what to expect. The space was much larger than we anticipated. We were like, oh boy, we didn't really have an idea of it at all, really. Like, we had this quick sketch that Emily had done, and then we were like, okay. So then we just kind of went on the fly and made it work out.
Wow. So after doing the first year, did you guys switch up your approach for future years?
Oh yeah, definitely. We actually bought a little bit of extra chalk just to be sure, and then we got like the little pads that you use when you go surfing, just to keep them so we could sit on them instead of just using our knees and stuff like that.
Excellent. And what year is this image from?
This is from the first year.
The first year. That's incredible. Yeah. So we were talking about this before we're actually live here. I think what's incredible about this is your first year, and this pops up in our marketing materials all the time. It's a very vibrant image. So that's incredible that was your first year, and this is the one you've decided to switch your approach from. So well done. So let's actually talk about that a little bit. So tell me about the experiences in the past Chalk Art festivals. Being in downtown Davenport, being in downtown Bettendorf, being around other artists. How was that? What was that like?
It's very lively. It's a big, since you have a festival atmosphere, you got a nice creative vibe going on, and you get to collaborate with other artists. You can walk around the space, and when you walk around the space, you see all this other art that's happening, and you're like, wow, how did you make that happen? I want to know how to learn that. Like, can you teach me? And stuff like that. You work with other artists at the same time, and it's really cool to see.
Wow. So let's talk about this year's experience. So obviously, you're not around a whole bunch of other artists. I'm also working on chalk art.
Yep.
How was that different?
It was a little different in the way that we didn't have that same because you almost get this like antsiness near the end. You're like, oh no, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. We can't get it. So this year we followed similar rules. We made it about 8x10, and we only spent 2 days on it. Maybe a little more time in general, but we tried to keep it the same thing so that it was the same type of, or we got to get it done. We got to get it done, but.
It's good. It's like keeping your skills honed for when we're in person next year.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. Always good.
Excellent. And I think we have a couple of photos of your work this year. I'd love to pull up a progress shot and kind of talk to you about, really, I guess my first question on this year's image is how did you guys determine what you were going to do? Okay.
So we kind of, after the first year, we kind of started pulling inspiration from Disney movies and just animated movies in general, and trying to make them a little bit more realistic or a little more stylized, I guess. And this year we chose Mulan, kind of more or less, and just went from there and tried to make it as complex as possible.
Wow. Now, since you're working with the team, do you guys split this up into certain areas? I mean, or do you kind of play in people's strengths? How does that work?
It kind of depends. The first year, we didn't really know what to expect. The second year, we sectioned off a little bit more. Definitely this year, we sectioned off. Like, Alex, she was in charge of making the figure because she was much better at doing that. And then Emily and Elizabeth, they both ended up doing the background space, like the foliage, and then the rocks in the background. And I did the dragon. And Elizabeth did a little bit of touch up on the dragon as well.
Excellent. So now, since I'm looking at it, I've got some questions.
Okay.
Really, kind of the big one. This is not a skill that I have. I cannot stress that enough. So I'm always thoroughly impressed with the work that you and your team do. So I'm very curious. Do you have any tips? Is there something like, obviously, like I could color in some things. I mean, do you have any tips for people who are just getting into chalk art?
I'd say just keep grinding the chalk in there, because the more chalk you can get on the piece in the section, the more vibrant it's gonna look. Like, wow. We probably used 2 full boxes of chalk on this one.
Wow.
Because we grabbed extras and just kept working. So.
Do you guys use any sort of like sponges or anything like that to?
No, we just use our hands.
Wow. Crazy.
Also, we usually we don't have one solid color in there. Like if we have a blue, we have a dark blue with it, or we have like a black or a white to add the highlights and the textures.
Oh, good to know. I say that like I'm going to be able to do this when I go home, but.
Oh, come on, Kevin, you can do that.
Yeah. I'll send you my rendition later and we can compare. Excellent. Obviously, I love that you talked about, when you were able to walk around at Chalk Art Fest, and you talked about that other artists would give you advice, that you would ask them how they did something, they would just, That's incredible. Is there anything that you learned from those artists that you are using today, or that you're like, man, that's a good piece of information there?
I would say the first year we didn't have like knee pads or anything like that, and we realized very quickly that it might be helpful to have a little something to not hurt your knees. But I was gonna say, I don't know, not that I can recall offhand, but definitely just talking with them, not even necessarily about chalk, just like art in general too, learning their styles and how to create that style kind of thing.
Yeah, good camaraderie. That's good. Do you have any stories from past chalk art festivals, or maybe just any favorite memories?
I was gonna say I really like working collaboratively with all of my friends from home, and then I guess seeing all the wonderful artists and what they can actually create, and it just turns out amazing. Like no matter what, there's color everywhere, and I love that.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, kind of a big question. you're a senior this year at Monmouth College.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be back next year for Chalk Art Festival when we're in person?
I will do my best to be there.
Excellent. Well, that makes me very happy. Rebecca, is there anything that you want to add tonight? Anything you want to, give a shout out to?
No, other than thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. But now, Rebecca, before I let you go, I do have a set of questions for you. My 7 with Kevin questions. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Perfect. All right. What are you currently watching on TV or Netflix?
I'm going to go with the X-Files.
Ooh, all right. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Where is the best pizza in the Quad Cities?
Poor Boys.
All right. What's your favorite book?
11/22/63 by Stephen King.
Oh, I've never read that one. All right. Where is your go-to place for inspiration?
A coffee shop or for a run?
Excellent. Do you have a go-to coffee shop?
I like Milltown in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, right on the river.
Yes.
Can't beat it. You're right. I would say what profession other than your own would you like to attempt? But what do you hope to attempt in the future?
Oh goodness, I don't know.
I know.
Oh man. I would say my fallback, I could just do like construction work or auto mechanic stuff, anything with my hands really. So.
Excellent. If you could have a drink with any artist, living or dead, who would it be?
I'm gonna have to go with Hieronymus Bosch.
All right. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna show my ignorance here. I'm gonna have to look that one up later. So
look up the Garden of Earthly Delights.
Excuse me. I'm gonna make a quick note here. All right. Well, Rebecca, it has been a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for coming on, and good luck in this year's Chalk Art Fest competition. Actually, if we can go ahead, I'd like to give one more, I'd like to pull up your final image one more time, just so everybody can take a good look at it and see, the work that you and your team did in just 2 days. So, moments. All right. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us. It's been great talking with you. So hopefully we'll be seeing it in person next year and being able to see the competition. So be on the lookout for results on August 31st. So
thank you.
Thank you. All right. To all of you that tuned in live, thank you. To all of you that are watching later, thank you so much for watching. Before we go, don't forget, you can help decide the winners. You can vote for your favorite on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. They will be uploaded on Saturday, August 29th. So all you have to do is go in there and vote for your favorite and help them win $250. What an easy task and what a great thing for one of these artists. As always, this is a team effort. So thank you to everyone at Quad City Arts. A very special thank you to Karie Gilson for joining us tonight and for all her hard work every year for putting on the Chalk Art Festival. Also, another quick shout out to our sponsors. We could not do this without them. So a big thank you to the Morency Family Foundation, the Bettendorf Business Organization, and Blick Art Materials for providing this year's chalk. So thank you all very much. And don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and visit our website for more information, not only about Chalk Art Fest, but all the great things that we're doing here at Quad City Arts. And as always, thank you for watching.